Hey GSU, I'm Ariane Johnson.
And I'm Cody Long. Welcome to another edition of the Panther Report.
This past weekend was the annual Pride Atlanta Festival, where thousands of people attended the Pride Parade and festivities at Piedmont Park. This year there was a very important subject to celebrate.
That's right, Ariane. This year's Pride Festival's main object of excitement was, of course, the ban of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy in the military.
The Atlanta Pride Festival is a great way for LGBTQIQ students to connect with other members and talk about important issues in the LGBTQIQ community. Here at GSU, there is a program called the Safe Zone, which helps LGBTQIQ students with all issues, as well as educating other students about the LGBTQIQ community. Here are Caitlin and Christy with more on the Safe Zone.
The Safe Zone is a great program here at Georgia State University to educate students about the LGBTQIQ community right here on campus.
Let's talk with Matthew Robison, the Assistant Dean of Students, to find out some more information.
So what exactly is the Safe Zone?
The Safe Zone program is a program on campus. It's actually a part of the Office of Intercultural Relations, and it educates the campus community around LGBTQIQ issues, or the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and questioning communities on campus. It tries to provide and create safe spaces for students that are a part of the LGBTQIQ community, educates the straight community to serve as allies to the LGBTQIQ community.
Great. So how do you promote the program, and how do you get students involved in the program?
We promote the program just like a lot of student groups and organizations do on campus, from flyers that are promoting Safe Zone programs to social media such as Facebook and Twitter. And also the Office of Intercultural Relations always promotes Safe Zone when it's promoting its offices.
Before the program was established, were there any instances that happened that made you say, hey, we really need to form a program to help this?
Safe Zone program was brought to Georgia State in 2004, and in 2004 there was a campus climate survey done of the student body, and one of the results of that survey, it was found gay and lesbian students, or students who identified as a part of the LGBTQIQ community, didn't feel as safe or as connected to campus when compared to their heterosexual peers. One of the proposals was to bring the Safe Zone program to campus, and Georgia State brought individuals and consultants in, and we modeled our Safe Zone program after other programs that are common at other colleges and universities from across the country.
Do you feel like this program is growing at all?
Yeah, the program is definitely growing. We've become more structured. In the past year, Safe Zone was sort of a shared collaboration between the Counseling and Testing Center and the Office of Intercultural Relations. But to bring more organization to the program, it has now become a part of the Office of Intercultural Relations full time.
So do you feel that the Safe Zone at Georgia State University has an advantage over safe zones in other universities, with us being so diverse and located right in downtown Atlanta?
Yeah, I do feel that Georgia State is definitely lucky to have such diversity on campus, being in downtown Atlanta. Atlanta last year was voted the gayest city in the country, so that does help. The LGBTQIQ community still faces unique and special challenges that are common across all college students. So we need to have programs like this that we can truly say, at Georgia State, it's a safe space. We care about your needs, and we want to make sure that you feel safe and welcome and connected to campus, where you can have an enjoyable, safe, and complete college experience, whether you're gay or straight or whatever. So I feel that it's still a very important program here on our campus.
I heard that you mentioned some stuff about training. What all does that entail?
Some of the stuff we talk about is we go over terminology. So we talk about what the words lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and questioning mean. So we give a definition to where, because we feel like a lot of folks just really don't have an understanding of what those words mean. We provide structure and support on how you can be a supportive ally if you have somebody that you think might be gay or is coming out to you. Again, trying to provide students with a way to how to support their fellow LGBT students. We talk about what is safe, the definition of what it means to be safe in our Safe Zone trainings, and we talk about the need to have a safe space. And whether you're gay, straight, or whatever, you need to feel safe, and you need to have a safe space on campus. And we talk about what it means and what safe spaces truly are.
This is Christy Alexander and Caitlin Leonard for GSTV Panther Report.
GSU students are going to have to be more aware of the purchases they make with their debit cards. This comes in light of Bank of America deciding to add on a fee for use of debit card purchases. Portia Campbell has more on this story.
In 2010, Congress instituted the Dodd-Frank Act, limiting the amount of money that banks could charge merchants. Prior to that, every time someone used their debit card to make a purchase, the bank charged the merchant 43 cents.
And the Federal Reserve, empowered by the Dodd-Frank Act, has actually reduced that now to approximately 23 cents a transaction.
The projected cuts are set to cost the bank $16 billion, and Bank of America plans on recouping as many of those fees as possible from their customers by charging them to use their own money. When Bank of America announced these new fees, protesters gathered in Boston against the charges. Georgia State University houses a Bank of America branch at their J. Meg Robinson College of Business here on the corner of Broad Street. It's relied on heavily by students for their banking needs, but how well will it be received once Bank of America institutes these new fees?
It's not fair because they're charging us $5 for each month to use our own money.
Bank of America representatives declined to speak with us on camera, but were kind enough to explain to us how the new fees will work. Basically, each customer will be charged a $5 monthly fee for using their debit card. It'll include any online purchases, anytime you swipe your card in the store, or basically any use of the debit card.
$5 for your own money that you are trying to save or trying to use for your bills, it just seems like it's a double whammy to me to continue asking them for extra. They just don't have it.
Now, there are some accounts like the Premier account for customers who have mortgages and other banking loans with the bank that will not be charged the $5 monthly fee. But as for the rest of us, students and all, we will be paying that $5. Financial advisors are recommending that people try local banks or credit unions to avoid some of these exorbitant fees. This has been Portia Campbell with the Panther Report.
Hopefully all you GSU students have been saving up your money in school pride for homecoming. This year marks the second year of fall homecoming, and there are many events in store for the week of the 17th through the 22nd.
With homecoming approaching, that means more students will be out and about at late night festivities, and that means that students should be more aware of their surroundings. Last week, the Georgia Tech campus faced 3 reported sexual assaults on students after dark.
These incidents have sparked the question of student safety after dark on college campuses and how students can be more aware of their surroundings. Let's go to Win Lee for more on this story.
Recently, Georgia Tech students have experienced an increase in crime rates on their campus, causing Georgia Tech, Georgia State, and Atlanta police to team up. A female student was walking late at night when she was approached by an unknown male from behind and grabbed around the waist. She then struck the male and ran. The student was not injured, and the attacker was described as a tan male. Another report was a female student was walking alone later in the evening when a white male approached her from behind and grabbed her thigh in a bear hug. The student screamed and was able to pull away from the male, who then fled away on foot. A more severe incident was a female student was walking late at night when an unknown male approached her from behind, pushed her against the wall, and undid her pants. When the female student screamed, the attacker fled away on foot. The female received minor injuries. Georgia Tech Police has sent out some tips on staying safe. Walk with a friend or in a group. Be alert of your surroundings. Immediately report any suspicious activity to the Georgia Tech Police, and program the Georgia Tech Police Department's phone number into your cell phone. Walk in well-lit areas. If possible, avoid walking alone at night. Be alert by avoiding listening to music or talking on the phone. You are most vulnerable when you are not alert.
October always brings up many events and festivals to celebrate, and one of the many events is National Breast Cancer Awareness. The month of October takes a look at breast health and how to support the cause. Here's Danielle with more.
Hey Georgia State students, this is Danielle Hughes with your Panther Report. As you can see, I'm wearing all pink today, and it's not for just any reason. It's because October 1st marked the beginning of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. About 1 in 8 women in the United States, 12%, will develop invasive breast cancer over the course of her lifetime. In 2010, an estimated 207,090 new cases of invasive breast cancer were expected to be diagnosed in women in the U.S., along with 54,010 new cases of non-invasive breast cancer. About 1,970 new cases of invasive breast cancer were expected to be diagnosed in men in 2010. Less than 1% of all new breast cancer cases occur in men. From 1998 to 2007, breast cancer incidence rates in the U.S. decreased by about 2% per year. One theory is that this decrease was partially due to the reduced use of hormone replacement therapy, HRT, by women after the results of a large study called the Women's Health Initiative were published in 2002. These results suggested a connection between HRT and increased breast cancer risk. We're here with Ms. Kelly Vincent, the Student Affairs Advisor here at Georgia State University. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
We're going to ask her a couple quick questions about her fight to end breast cancer. Why is spreading breast cancer awareness so important to you?
I think for me, it's the personal connection that I have with breast cancer. My grandmother was diagnosed with breast cancer whenever I was in grade school, and so as an adult I have taken a more active approach. I feel that because I am healthy and have the ability to be active, then I have no excuse not to spread awareness or volunteer, raise funds, do as much research as I can on the disease to not only prevent it myself but also educate others around me.
Okay, thank you. What type of volunteer projects have you been a part of?
I personally have done the Komen Race for a Cure several times. For me, it's most special when I get to travel home and do it with my grandmother and family members. I also have done the 3-day, the Breast Cancer 3-Day, which is a 3-day, 60-mile walk for breast cancer. We're lucky enough that here in Atlanta we actually have it here in Atlanta. It's not in every city across the United States. And I've actually also volunteered for that. So you can volunteer to help with different parts of the walk, and that is something else that I've actually done.
Okay, great. When did you start your mission for breast cancer awareness?
Actually, when I was in graduate school, I was interning at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and just randomly decided that I wasn't doing enough and that I have enough free time and the ability to take more action. So I kind of decided that it was time to stop sitting idle and really take action with this. I feel like nowadays you can't talk to anyone that hasn't been affected by breast cancer, whether it's a grandmother, a best friend, a cousin, and so that's when I really decided that I have no excuse to sit anymore and to really educate myself and try and educate others.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any suggestions for people who want to get involved with the fight to end breast cancer?
Definitely. I think the biggest way to get involved is to go online and search and see different volunteer opportunities locally. Here this month, I know that the 3-day walk for breast cancer is next weekend, the 21st. So you can actually go online and search for the 3-day just on Google and explore the different volunteer opportunities. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so there's a lot more volunteer opportunities in October, but year-round you can be an advocate. So really doing the research, contacting your legislature to get more laws passed for research and funding are things that we can do year-round. And then also in May in Atlanta is the Komen Walk. So every May is the walk. It's usually at Atlantic Station, but over 100,000 people will go out all for breast cancer.
That's great, thank you. Now, one last question. What has been your most memorable moment on a walk or your favorite walk? Anything that sticks out?
Definitely my most memorable moment was during the Breast Cancer 3-Day. You are walking 60 miles in 3 days, and it is for breast cancer. So there's approximately 3,000 walkers, and you will see men, you will see women, but then the community also comes out, and and people will actually thank you for walking. So it's very humbling. Because for me, I did it because I'm able. There's no reason why I can't get out there and walk 60 miles. And for me, it made a statement. But for people to be out there and thanking you for giving your time, I wasn't expecting that. And definitely the most impact was there was a little boy holding a sign, and the sign said, "My mommy would have thanked you." And so knowing that he had lost his mom to breast cancer was exactly what this was about, was walking for his mom, walking for him. So hopefully him or anyone else doesn't have to lose more people to breast cancer.
Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Danielle Hughes with the Panther Report, and I'm signing up for the Susan G. Komen 3-day walk next week as we speak. For more information, please visit susangcoleman.com. Thank you.
Breast cancer awareness is not only intended for October, but for any time of the year. So for more information on breast cancer awareness, please visit nbcam.org. Now we move on to Balan Ali for our political news.
The death penalty, or offenses known as capital crimes or capital offenses, are usually reserved for crimes such as murder, treason, sexual offenses, and military justice. Although the act is abolished in many nations, over 60% of the world's population live in countries where executions take place, including the United States. The recent execution of Troy Davis here in Georgia has brought a lot of attention to the injustice to this form of execution. Those in favor of the act believe it should be a fitting form of justice for criminals who have performed horrendous acts. Those opposing the death penalty are against the act of an eye for an eye. A highly publicized advocate for the death penalty is top Republican candidate Rick Perry. His governing state of Texas has held records for the amount of executions performed, especially during Perry's political reign. Gallup polls show that majority of Americans, 64%, support the death penalty. Even with the controversy surrounding the validity behind the Troy Davis case, many states, including Georgia, stand behind the act of execution. With the 2012 presidential elections only a year away and President Obama's shoo-in for the Democratic Party, interest in the Republican Party candidates has been a political hot topic. The forerunners include Mitt Romney, the former governor of Massachusetts, and Rick Perry, the current governor of Texas. Romney, who previously ran for the presidency in 2008, has promoted higher education and believes education is equivalent to economic growth. He also opposes same-sex marriage but supports anti-discrimination laws at the state level to protect LGBT in the workplace. Rick Perry, a man whom many have seen to defy the odds to become a forerunner, plans on decreasing spending on programs such as Medicaid and Social Security. He supports amendments to prevent same-sex marriages and plans on strongly enforcing immigration restrictions. Wildcards among the GOP candidates include Michelle Bachmann of the Tea Party, John Huntsman, and Ron Paul. While not the forerunners at this time, these three have the potential to be campaign challengers.
Welcome GSU students, this is Amanda Marino with your entertainment news. We like to take this time to celebrate and honor the late Steve Jobs for his contributions to the world of technology. The Panther Report and GSTV say thank you, Steve Jobs. On a lighter note, the end of October is fast approaching and it's time to make plans for Halloween. You may feel like you've outgrown your trick-or-treating stage, or maybe you want to do something besides waiting in the endless lines at Six Flags Fright Fest. Well, you should come out to Georgia State's Cinefest Theater the week of October 21st through 27th for a completely free event. The annual Horror Film Festival will be held showing multiple horror films located on the second floor of the University Center. I caught up with Cinefest to find out more about the details. Today we're here at Cinefest highlighting some of the events happening in October.
I like watching scary movies a lot, so I'm definitely thinking about checking out the Cinefest horror thing that's going on. You know, I heard it was going to be pretty good, so.
I'm definitely looking forward to the horror movies at Cinefest.
One of the main events happening is the Quest Horror Film Festival. We have employee Sean Jones telling us a little bit more about that.
The Horror Quest Film Festival is just basically this, it's basically like an independent horror film festival that's kind of a local thing that started here in Atlanta. And it's the first year that it's ever happened before. And it's basically a festival in order to get local directors and artists and stuff to be able to have their work and their movies shown. So it's all local films and stuff like that. And it's just a way to basically start up this sort of festival in the Southeast. and they're trying to become like the biggest free film festival in the Southeast for horror films, and I guess maybe any other sort of genre. They're trying to just beat out everybody, but it just started last year as just kind of like a movie night kind of thing for local people, and like it was at like free comic book shop events and stuff. And now they're trying to get it to where it's like in theaters, so they're going to kind of bring their own stuff and bring their own films and you know, just show it here at Cinefest that students and other people can see all the work that's coming out.
To help celebrate Halloween, Cinefest is using the month of October to show horror films all throughout. After 5, it's just $5 for people who are not GSU students, and it's free for GSU students at all times. Let's hear more about the movies.
The movies that we're showing during October are a lot of horror movies, a lot of different I mean, some of them are horror, but a lot of them are like thriller and stuff, just basically kind of a scare thing because of Halloween and everything. But we're having like old movies like Army of Darkness and Carrie, just some classics. And then we're having a new movie that's coming here. It's called Silent House. And it's a really innovative, scary movie. It's a Spanish film, it's foreign, but the whole movie is shot like in one continuous scene. So the whole movie, they never cut away from the actors or the action. So it's like actual, an hour-and-a-half long movie of actual time in a horror film. So it's really, really cool. It's kind of a ghost, really scary psychological film. And then we have another movie, and it's a scary movie at points. It's like a British film. It's called Attack the Block, and it was done by the people who did like Shaun of the Dead, the guy who helped produce those movies. Yeah, that's coming here, and that one's really cool. It got a lot of hype for the last year. Everyone just really loved it because it's kind of funny, but it also has scary moments. So it's pretty cool, and that's the other one that's coming here that's pretty big that a lot of people are really excited about because not many people got to see it in the U.S.
Well, Ariane, it looks like we've reached the end of the show.
Yes, we have. Don't forget, GSU, you can catch Panther Report on Channel 91 in University Housing and also online on our YouTube page, GSTV Panther Report.
I'm Cody Long.
And I'm Ariane Johnson. Thank you for watching the Panther Report.